That's what I do. I drink and I know things.
Yo, was good. What the fuck is good? God damn it. Gotta run it back in this little, you know, this little ratchet homemade studio I just kind of put together. Looks like shit. It's better than Red Bar Studio. No, but yeah, I had to improvise on a place to record today. But I guess we got some fun shit to talk about, bro. We got fucking goddamn Candace Owens getting a hit put on her. That's kind of hilarious. Why? Because she's what? Black? Yeah, I won't be talking too much about that, honestly. Maybe at the end when we see what's going on with it currently. But I definitely know that she had put out something that it was both an Israeli and a French assassin that were assigned to assassinate Candace Owens. The French one, obviously, because Brigitte Macron is definitely a fake woman that has a hole where her dick used to be, for sure. So I'm guessing that's where the French assassin's coming from. And apparently it's a woman assassin. So she's going to get, she's going to get fucking Blue Chew or Hims put in her fucking drink, poison her. And then the other one's an Israeli, and I'm guessing that's for all the shit she's been talking about the Kirk assassination, which was definitely probably Israel. I'll say that right now. But I'm not Candace Owens. I'm married to a billionaire that somehow had weird ties to Epstein, I think, as well, which is sketchy. When you look at her marriage, it honestly kind of seems like it was almost like an arranged marriage as well, kind of like Charlie and Erica. I'm pretty sure her husband is like some British billionaire that she met going on a trip for work. It was kind of random, kind of how Charlie and that whore Erica Kirk with those sexy ass leather pants kind of met Charlie on her little interview run that was set up probably by Daddy Trump, by Baba. Damn, Baba's been hungry for some dick. Yeah, I can't believe people are actually falling for that shit. That'd be hilarious. But that fucking goddamn video or picture, whatever it was, of Trump allegedly sucking Bill Clinton's dick, that shit would have been out decades ago. Shut up. If you believe that, you fucking I know to stay away from you because you're shedding the vaccine for sure. But yeah, so Candace, yeah, I was looking into her background. She was definitely a actor at some point when she was younger. She had an agent. She was part of a modeling agency, which is weird. But not only that, I it might have just been a fever dream, but I remember reading something that her marriage was kind of shady and seemed arranged, and the guy she married had ties to some very powerful people, but I don't know. Everyone seems to have had ties with Jeffrey Epstein. I'm starting to think that Jeffrey Epstein might have been like, still a scum of the earth, you know, deserves, the worst treatment ever, even though he's probably still alive and in witness protection. But looking at everything that's coming out and all the connections, I'm starting to think that like Jeffrey Epstein was like a tier above them on the hierarchy of not being as scum as the other. So I think he just like dabbled in the scumminess and like, that's what got him caught. It's kind of like a drug dealer that uses uh their own supply, Don't get high on your own supply, and that always gets you fucked in the end, either shot or turned into a junkie. But I'm pretty sure Epstein just started dabbling in the shit that he was like using as blackmail, and then so he essentially used his own drug and got caught for it. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the Epstein ties are weird. I mean, it's not even just fucking it's not even just people at this point. It's literally these alternative, transformative, revolutionary uh, monetary systems that are supposed to take over and replace the centralized banking system that we are currently, uh, kind of under control at the moment. The, central bank, the Fed, all that shit. This is Bitcoin. So, I mean, if you have Bitcoin, that shit's probably going to plummet to zero pretty fucking soon. Like, really fucking soon, to be honest. I mean, any ties to fucking any ties to Epstein, that, I mean, the stock to anything just plummets. The dude plummeted fucking what, Bear Stearns' shit back in the day, but I mean, a bunch of them probably made money. But Epstein has had ties with Bitcoin since essentially it's fucking sorry, thought someone walked in. Essentially it's fucking creation. Like, you look back at like all the people that like were involved in the startup of Bitcoin, it's like all these fucking tech faggots that are scumming around like rats and geckos you see at night around Silicon Valley. I knew it. It's all right. But yeah, to get back to the Epstein Bitcoin connection, if you look at just like the start of it, it's just filled with people in Silicon Valley and people that were honestly in control and still in control of the current banking system we have. And so, what do you think Epstein, being a money guy, is going to do, especially gaining all this blackmail on the most powerful people in the world to control? And I mean, it's all you follow the money. It's all about money. I mean, yes, he was dabbling in fucking kids and diddling them up and doing that shit, but he was also like involved in all the scientific endeavors. And well, speaking of Endeavor is like the main investor in Bitcoin, and that's owned and ran by Ari Emanuel, who is a Jewish billionaire who also owns Endeavor owns the UFC, so they own Disney, they own a bunch of entertainment companies, modeling agencies, you bet. So you got Ari Emanuel, which if you've ever seen The Entourage, where that group of fags are, which I say represented by the agent Ari in that show, his character is based off of Ari Emanuel, and they even gave him the same name. It's like when Larry Ellison stepped down. It's like when Larry Ellison was running Oracle when it was part of the CIA, and then he resigned and started his own AI company, and then just called it Oracle again. So it's the same thing. They were showing him Ari Emanuel in Entourage, and yeah, just some Jew billionaire that's a fucking scumbag, but they didn't even touch the surface of what he dabbles in, Ari Emanuel. But to get back to Epstein, being a money guy, and everyone said he was a dumbass, but that's bullshit, and it's obvious he was a whiz and a fucking genius when it came to taxes, tax evasion, money laundering, anything finance, to be honest. And him being pretty equipped in that area, knowing where the dollar's headed and where a lot of the world's currency is also going to be headed, given that it's a dollar based system all around the world. You would think that Jeffrey Epstein saw some type of alternative currency, or just an alternative currency that would replace this like crashing monetary system that the US is run on at the moment, and a lot of the world as well. And he went and found that source, and that source was Bitcoin, which is started by some anonymous Jap. Oh, I got Bitcoin. Yeah, some anonymous Jap, Satoshi Nakamoto. I don't even know if I've ever said his name right. I don't care if I've ever said his name right, because he's not a real person. Which, if you look at what that name translates to, if you use like the real translation that the Japanese would use, which I think they put the surname first and they do a bunch of weird shit. It would translate into uh, central intelligence. That's what Satoshi Nakamoto translates to, is central intelligence. So that's kind of funny. There's kind of, all these people are so high up in the hierarchy of power that even though they're not allowed to reveal themselves, and it would ruin them by blatantly revealing themselves, they still have so much power and so much disrespect and disgust for the common person that they have to tell. They just want to tell you in some way. They want to fuck with you, obviously. It might even be, part of that occult bullshit where they kind of have to reveal the method for it to actually, be successful. But yeah, so you have this anonymous person that created Bitcoin. We don't know who it is. It's a fun story at first. It's like, ooh, Bitcoin. Oh, it's transformative. It's revolutionary. It's I mean, I kind of fell for it as well. I'm not gonna lie, but it's like, okay, what's so transformative about it? Oh, it's decentralized. Okay, no, it's not. I mean, I couldn't say this 2 months ago. I wouldn't have really I didn't have this information, but it's not centralized at all because the largest shareholder of Bitcoin is Larry Fink. Larry Fink is the CEO of BlackRock. And well, if you know what BlackRock is, they essentially like them, Vanguard, and like two other large investment firms kind of own everything and control like the monetary system. And well, the largest shareholder of Bitcoin is Larry Fink and BlackRock. So it's not centralized or decentralized like they told us. It might have been at one point, but over time, these, corporate raiders, these corrupt finance guys, these, terrible people, this is what they do. They don't give a fuck about playing by the rules. They make the rules so that you can't play in their arena. And so at one point or another, Larry Fink, BlackRock, and the rest of the fucking tech faggots in Silicon Valley and the rest of the bank faggots and, all over the world. And, the WEF, George Soros probably dabbled in it. You got Epstein in it. So he was investing in Bitcoin and these crypto coins at the beginning, FTX, things like that. But, primarily Bitcoin. And so yeah, all these fucking retards that are like, oh, it's decentralized. That's what's valuable about it. Okay, no, it's not. Now we know that it's not decentralized. It's literally owned by the people that are running the centralized dollarized system at the moment. And all they're going to do is turn Bitcoin into the same dollarized system, but now it's going to be digital. And so that's another thing that these retards, I wanted to tell everyone, it's going to 10 million. Cool. So I'm going to look at a number on my phone screen that says 10 million. And okay, what if they just wanted to go delete that off his phone screen and then it's not there anymore? Oh, they're like, oh, he mined it. You got to mine it. Okay. All right. They talk about mining it, and I'm pretty sure at this point it's more expensive to mine a Bitcoin than what it costs. Like it costs more to mine a Bitcoin than the actual price of one at this point, which shows that it's finite, but like it's not physical. And like that's the one thing people always had a problem with, but there was still that decentralization, that autonomy that people had when they bought and owned Bitcoin. But they don't own it because you own the platforms you buy it on, Coinbase, Tangem. I have Tangem. That's like probably the best one I've ever used. And it's supposed to be a cold wallet. I don't know what that's probably just bullshit at this point. But if you're buying it on Cash App, Coinbase, you can buy it on probably Fidelity and all these other investment platforms. Those are literally owned by the people that are running the current system. So it's not, I don't know where this decentralization argument even comes from. I think it's a bunch of autistic fucking vaxxed up Tylenol taking headbangers that are, were smart and they made some, good finance decisions investing in Bitcoin, and now they fell in love with it while remaining naive to the hostile takeover by the the current bankers, and now they've taken it over, and we know that. I mean, I don't need to say it again. Larry Fink and BlackRock, majority shareholders. The largest ETF fund that's ever been created is a Bitcoin fund. Do you know? Okay, who started that fund? It was Larry Fink and BlackRock. They own the fund. It's not only the biggest fund in the world compared to even stocks and all the other crypto coins. It's literally a Bitcoin one. So it's centralized. And then you look at the early investors. And now you got the Harvard president, Larry Summers was one of the main ones. He still teaches at Harvard. There's videos of him having to address his class when the Epstein files came out, and address his class and tell them that he was in the Epstein files. And they all just sat there and got out their computers and notes and acted like it was normal. I literally would have been let's fucking what are we doing right now? Let's beat the fuck out of him. They all the students, because they're so fucking retarded, and they're already paying hundreds of thousands to be there. And well, they're probably foreign, so if they revolt against Larry Summers being in the Epstein files, they'll get sent back to China and India and wherever the fuck they're coming from. Yeah, in which they take seats in classrooms that should have been given to Americans. But that's controversial, I guess, even to Trump. We got 500,000 fucking CHs coming in here soon, so that would be great. And Harvard would be one of the main sanctuary schools for him, I guess we can call it. Yeah, I'm sure no intellectual property will be stolen, but it doesn't matter. You look at the early investors, like I said, you got Larry Summers, president of Harvard, still teaching there, addressing his classes that he's in the files, and they're all faggots and sat there and still took notes. They're probably can you teach us his ways, how he made money? They're like, we'll fuck kids too, you fucking freaks. And then you had a lot of tech, Silicon Valley people involved. So the PayPal mafia, Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, Sam Altman, the sister fucker, who's a faggot, I guess. I don't know why he was fucking his sister, but I guess he just had to make sure he absolutely 100% was a fag, as he turned out to be. His boyfriend's even more fucking reptile looking than him. So yeah, you got the PayPal mafia, the AI guys, the Silicon Valley groups, the Zuckerbergs, all the tech bros that jump back and forth from party to party. The technocrats, we'll call them the transhumanist. And then you had people like Sam Bankman-Fried involved, and the people that were early in the crypto game, essentially using all the money from investors to rent private islands and fuck each other, and buy a bunch of properties for their parents and shit. And then you had people like Ghislaine and Jeffrey Epstein, who were also early investors and very interested in getting their hands and their tentacles into Bitcoin. And I mean, it only makes sense. It only makes sense. Why wouldn't Jeffrey Epstein, this retard in every other aspect of life? Everyone says Eric Weinstein is a fucking retard himself. Then he's like, oh, I met him once and he just seemed like a plant. He's sitting on Rogan with his fucking legs crossed like a mermaid. He seemed like a plant to me. He just seemed like someone that wasn't capable or competent enough to be in the position that he's in. Okay, Eric, why don't you go fucking cry again on Rogan's while you're speaking about your theory of everything and the music you play at night with your Jew family? You and Jordan Peterson cry so fucking much. It's horrendous. You two, Jordan Peterson and Eric Weinstein, when they go on Rogan or any big platform podcast, they're essentially like a kid in a restaurant without an iPad. They just start freaking the fuck out. And then they go, I got a theory for everything. Okay, Jordan Peterson had a theory with a list of 12 rules for anything that anything life related. The 12 rules of life. He had a theory of everything too before he started crying. Because we found out he was writing it while he was just fucking zanned out on some fucking bars and some benzos. I'm not coming at him for that, but it's your theory kind of sucks, bro, because it didn't even work for you, and your fucking daughter's running around fucking Andrew Tate while you're on podcast talking shit about him being an online pimp. But you're the dude. Stop simping, Jordan Peterson. Don't take benzos because your daughter lied to you about fucking Andrew Tate. Chill out, dude. Just stop crying. And start with rule one. Start with rule one. I mean, why can't you just stick to the 10 commandments, you Canadian retard? You had to add 2 in, and it's what? Taking benzos and not allowing my wife to speak at events. And then you have Eric Weinstein, who has a theory of everything for essentially how the world came to be, as physics theory of everything. And string theory is probably I'm on board with that. It was probably just a psyop to keep all the physicist nerds busy thinking they're doing something while the real Manhattan Project types were working on the real shit, probably like quantum shit and I don't know, AI, and probably butt fucking kids on Epstein's island and sacrificing them so they can get the knowledge for all these creations. But Eric Weinstein goes, yeah, I only met him once, and he just seemed like a retard. Seemed like he shouldn't be in the position he was in. Meanwhile, Eric Weinstein thinks he has a theory of everything for the fucking earth, for the world. So that guy's a retard. I mean, that's like the definition of being a fucking dipshit. And so, yeah, and for him to say that, and so many other people to be like, Epstein just was not that guy. He's just not that guy. That's just false, and that makes me think that they had something to do with what he was doing, or they knew him better than what they said. But he wasn't a retard. He's very smart in what he did. He was an expert, regardless of having an egg-shaped dick and his tendency and preference of children. He was still like an expert in his field. So. And that just brings me back to the point where people are shocked that Epstein somehow like could smell where the current monetary system was headed and sniffed out another, route to make money and honestly, garner more control over not only the monetary system, but every people, the data, what people are doing, okay, because Bitcoin, right? Because it's not physical, like we said, right? It's decentralized. That's its only value. Its value was fucking a bunch of bored retards that got rich really quick and then tricked a bunch of other people into thinking it was going to happen to them. And well, now it's fucked. But now these people like Epstein and the Larry Finks and the Larry Summers and all these scum motherfuckers that were already in control of our current monetary system now have control of the decentralized, now centralized, stablecoin, Bitcoin, crypto monetary system, which was supposed to replace this crumbling one that we're using now. And so nothing will change. It's actually going to get worse because now that it's not physical, like gold or silver or even paper money or oil or just any physical asset, now it's just digital. So now it's a number on a screen. You can't just get up and go with it. They can erase it if they want. They can steal it. They own the platforms you buy it on. Where you keep it. And not only that, it's digital. So every time you spend something, they know what's going on. They have your data because you got to transfer things. You got to use money to buy it. So they're getting all this data on everyone. They're seeing how you go about your daily life, what you buy, what all your transactions. They're essentially now in a spot where the surveillance state is inevitable. And I mean, I don't even know what to call it when we add Palantir to that equation. So I mean, yeah, that's gonna be fucked when Palantir, joins the party, and shit, and that'll be here pretty soon. But right now, they don't really need Palantir because having control over the monetary system was already so much control. You could wipe out anyone's livelihood, essentially, make them irrelevant. You could wipe them off the face of the earth financially, which essentially equates to physically, and makes anyone non-existent when they debank you. If you have no financial means or some type of backing, you lose not only your freedom of speech and your voice and your opinion, you just lose everything, your freedoms. And that was already so much power that they had acquired because of the creation of the Federal Reserve and central banking, right after they sank the Titanic with the two bankers that were opposed to starting the central banking system. And it's funny because, like, I guess we'll just stay in the dark, but it's funny because, like JP Morgan, like all the people that started, Rockefeller and the Vanderbilts and the Rothschilds, all the ones that started the central banking system were supposed to be on that fucking ship as well, but they somehow just didn't end up on it. And the people that were opposed to their, wanting to start the central bank somehow ended up on it, and conveniently died. And the next year, you have the central bank and the Federal Reserve, and then you have like World War I, which was funded by Rockefeller, and then just kind of led to so much more. The changing of the medical system, the schooling system. And we fucked up in the early 1900s by allowing that, but it was kind of harder to oppose it because we didn't have the means of availability of information we do today. And now we're letting it happen again at like a much more detrimental scale. And we're so fucking retarded and dumbed down from the food, the vaccines, the fucking chemtrails, the water, whatever you fucking name it. We're so fucking retarded and in a state of idiocracy at this point that you can go online and find this information and see it happening in front of our eyes, and it's happened. We've allowed 1914 or whenever it was 13 to happen all over again at a much higher scale, where like it's not only the monetary system that they acquired. Like they acquired everything, your biometrics, your data, your money. RFK will start pushing wearables into the equation. They'll have everything that they need, and bring AI into the equation, and it gets real fucking weird. It's real weird. You start saying something like, the Jews killed Charlie Kirk, which they probably did, or they killed JFK, which they probably did, in my opinion, or at least had a part in it. I think Saudis did as well, but don't think the Saudis aren't involved in this. Why is like Mohammed bin Salman? Why has he been coming to the fucking White House so much? Why are him and Dana White and the owner of Dana White's company Endeavor, Ari Emanuel, all buddies? It's weird. So it's like a global thing. It's a global cabal. It's the New World Order, that weird conspiracy theory that, people, would be looked down upon for thinking was going to happen. But now it's just kind of inevitable, and we're just allowing it to happen right in front of our eyes. Digital ID will have, that's another thing with Bitcoin, digital ID. It's just like, and I don't know. It's not just the United States. It's, everywhere. It's, it's the WEF. It's the occult. It's this one big group, and they're going to make it global, and they're going to make it global fast. And the allowing them to take over Bitcoin, and so many people continue to have faith in a decentralized system that has been taken over by a centralized entity, are allowing, they're catalyzing this whole entire process. and they're bringing retards on board more and more. They're like, you're going to be able to buy a Bitcoin. It's fucking $100,000 now. What the fuck? I'll buy a fucking, like, I'll buy $5 a Bitcoin. I'm going to be rich. They're like, it's going to go to 10 million. When it goes that high though, with the five, not, it's, they say like, I don't even know what their argument against inflation is with it, because I feel like you need dollars to buy it. And so if the price of Bitcoin just keeps going up, they're like, they're like, inflation doesn't affect it. But like, inflation affects the like dollars that I have to use to buy it at the moment. So that's also a weird part of it. And then people are like, we can take it back. No, you can't. I mean, it's already, just go listen to like anyone like Whitney Webb or Mark Goodwin or Catherine Austin Fitts. Catherine Austin Fitts literally worked in the cabinet for H.W. Bush and like his financial cabinet group, whatever you call it, the Treasury, I think. And no, it's like they're going to use this to make us think that they can like somehow address the debt that's like trillions, hundreds of trillions of dollars, larger than the military industrial complex. And they're going to make it seem like they can use this new digital monetary system to combat our debt and somehow solve it, which is totally false. It's not going to happen. It's impossible. And they're also going to, and they're going to mask it. Like they're going to fake it like they're addressing the debt, like they've done with so many other things that they've stolen. And then they end up not addressing anything, creating more debt, and then they make more money and gain more control. That's what they'll do with the stable coins, and they'll basically turn it into the dollar, but it'll be a digital dollar is what Bitcoin is going to turn into. I mean, they're just going to dollarize it. And yeah, I know that was a lot of different, tangents on the whole, I mean, what Bitcoin is at this point, what the crypto industry is. I mean, it was a good idea, but like, I mean, socialism's a good idea, communism's a good idea, and then, I mean, you see where that most bad and horrific things that happen in the world started off as like a great idea, in my opinion. I think a lot of good intentions and a lot of great ideas have, I think like over 90% of the time actually end in disaster. Like it's an idea. I think that's like why, I forgot who said it. It was some fucking smart Russian or philosopher. It might have been like Jung or Dostoevsky or one of those. But it's like, don't throw out most of your good ideas. They're not. I mean, it's very rare when a good idea turns out to be good. So yeah, I mean, I mean, Jeffrey Epstein was directly involved. That should be enough. I mean, I know I'm just saying like he was investing in Bitcoin, which should be enough for anyone to be like, I don't want my hands on this. Even if you did want to make money from it, I don't know how you could see any profit coming out of anything connected to Jeffrey Epstein at this point, given that like the whole world or the whole country, at least the US, is essentially for almost, I mean, not fully, it's like 85% are like kind of turning on both parties unless we get like full transparency with him. And I mean, the issue with Jeffrey Epstein is like, like kind of fucked up the whole infighting and division, because that's a fucked up situation. So anything connected to him, I don't know if I would want any of my money in that could, be affected by anything Jeffrey Epstein. But I mean, nothing's worked out good connected to Epstein. You can see that right now with Jamie Dimon and Chase right now. They're trying to boycott Chase, and for good reason. And I did mean, like my mom said, I get all my information from her. We've been talking about the Chase connection with Jeffrey Epstein. I forgot the kid's name that went on. It's funny because this is a Bitcoin guy. He's known and popular in the Bitcoin community. He went on some financial morning show or talk show, and the host asked him about Jamie Dimon's, the CEO of Chase, JP Morgan, his views on Bitcoin, which were essentially Jamie Dimon said that he doesn't like the idea of Bitcoin or Bitcoin replacing the dollar in our monetary system because, well, one, it's anonymous, and two, you can do bad things with Bitcoin. We all know you can, like, this is how, like, you buy and sell illegal drugs, you ship illegal things. Yeah, it's the blockchain. And it's so funny. This is this is what the kid responded. He's not, I mean, this is not a quote summarizing. He goes, I don't really give a fuck what Jamie Dimon has to say about Bitcoin maybe being used for bad things, given that he was Jeffrey Epstein's bank. You know, he knew what Jeffrey Epstein was doing. He made so much money off of it. Jeffrey Epstein brought so many clients to Jamie Dimon and JP Morgan. And yeah, for Jamie Dimon to have like the audacity to go, yeah, Bitcoin could be used for like bad things and uh, could, you know, be vulnerable to corruption or bad people. Yeah, that's hilarious for Jamie Dimon to say when he was literally the bank for Jeffrey Epstein's traffic network. And didn't, after he was convicted the first time, continued to do it, and just continued to do it all the way until his fake death. And so that's what's going on now. Is you got the I was trying to transfer all my shit. I have very little in my Chase account, but my family's used it for so long, and I was like, damn. I was like, before I start recording today, because I knew I was going to talk about this faggot, corrupt, probably kid fucker Jamie Dimon, CEO of JP Morgan. I knew I was going to talk about him. I was like, I should, whatever I got in there, just move it over here, because I don't know if, probably, I mean, they're being boycotted. I'm sure there's bigger fish to fry, but I don't know. I don't know what type of Israeli spyware they use, so they might hear it and they might not like it. They might send me a notice and be like, your accounts were your accounts were closed. You're not going to be banking with us anymore. I'd literally, email them back and be like, thank you, and you can end that whole credit debt that I had with you as well. Thank you. It's funny because it's an Amazon card. Like Amazon's, I mean, you got to be smart if you're Jeff Bezos here, because Jeff Bezos, who, I mean, at this point, I think everyone's connected at these elite levels that we should. I don't even know what to do at this point, because we're told none of these guys came out of garages like I'm in right now and started their companies with a couple of friends. That's horseshit. They've used that story one too many times where people started to get like, a little, like, concerned over that. They're like, why does every person have the same story? And then you look into it and it's like, oh yeah, it's a front, just like everything else, just like Elon's companies are all, he's just a front man, dude. He's fucking playing video games and railing ketamine with his man tits, so he's not running shit. If they're aliens, they sure are subtle. Fucking retard. The dude has to tell us he thinks we went to the moon. He's the smartest guy in the world. If he looked at the footage, he knows what's going on. He sends all his fake starships going up there and catching stray astronauts like they're fucking like they're fucking stray dogs. But yeah, and then you look into Bezos, who I mean, credit card. He has Amazon has like a credit system that is run through Chase and JP Morgan. And like they might want to look into maybe ending that tie, because people are, I mean, this is not going to be good for Chase and JP Morgan as a whole. And honestly, if you have the means and you want to potentially make some good money, I'd go and short JP Morgan. I mean, I'd pull a George Soros and literally short the fuck out of JP Morgan, fuck them. But yeah, I mean, if they boycott that, I mean, that's going to, I mean, the next like person they'll go to is Bezos and the Amazon connection that is running credit lines through Chase for their customers as well. But you look into Jeff Bezos and you go, well, he's not going to do that. He's going to play ball and involve himself in the cover up, because you look at who's Jeff Bezos' grandpa. Apparently, his grandpa, I forget his name, it's in the intro, essentially was one of the founders of DARPA. Not only that, he was also played a big role in the nuclear research and facilities and bombs that were created by Israel following the JFK assassination. He was involved, I guess, in also the nuclear material going missing from I forget the Nemcor, whatever that Zionist company was that, you know, had a bunch of nuclear material go missing, and then JFK dies, and then Israel has nukes and research programs and all this shit going on that they weren't supposed to have. Jeff Bezos' grandpa was directly related to that, connected to that, literally founded DARPA, essentially. The most powerful, I would say, company in the world, military contractor in the world. And we can get into them next, because we're going to talk about this disclosure bullshit where everyone thinks we're going to get told that actually we're not alone here in this in this universe, or in this, I don't know, world. This 3i Atlas is apparently going to have fucking extraterrestrial non-human life on it coming to us, like it's the fucking show on Netflix, Three Body Problem. But yeah, look into Jeff Bezos' grandpa. Not that, I mean, I'm pretty sure also he like owned like the most farmland at the time. That means Jeff Bezos probably owns a bunch of it too. And then we're told that his fucking, and shout out to God, what's his name? I gotta look up his name, because I'm getting this information from him. I put him in the intro. God damn it. He's that Asian dude, Korean guy. What's his fucking name, dude? James, is it James something? I gotta shout him out, because I don't want to act like I went and did this fucking. I'm sure he's not the only one to do this research, but God damn it! All right, shit. I have his fucking clip up. I just don't know what. He doesn't have a watermark. Come on now. Fuck it, we'll just play the clip since I got it up. I'm sorry, I forgot your fucking name. James, I forgot. Whatever. But let's just listen to this real quick since I got it up.
Bezos' grandfather was one of the founders of DARPA. You know, the super secret Pentagon project that invented the internet? Jeff Bezos has credited his grandfather on numerous occasions for being impactful in his life growing up.
I can't see his
Lawrence Preston Guise. Jeff Bezos' grandfather worked for the U.S. government in the now dissolved Atomic Energy Commission. 1958, LP Guise helped form the Advanced Research Projects Agency, eventually renamed as DARPA. After the assassination of JFK in 1963, LP Guise was appointed as...
Oh, shit. Sorry, I closed that.
Commission. 1965, AEC discovers about 300 pounds of weapons-grade uranium missing from the NUMEC plant, Nuclear Materials and Equipment Corps, in Apollo, Pennsylvania. It was founded by a man named Zalman Shapiro. Just 3 years later, in 1968, Israel tests its first nuke. CIA later determined that the material came from the missing NUMEC uranium. It was better known as the Apollo affair. We were told that Jeff Bezos started Amazon in his garage in 1994. We've all seen this pic. Something from nothing. A great American success story. Or was he chosen to be a frontman? Interesting enough, John Greenwald of Black Vault tried to pull up LP Guise's records via the Freedom of Information Act, only find out that all the records were destroyed. Jeff Bezos' grandfather, who he credits as a big inspiration in his life, helped found one of the most secretive U.S. government organizations in existence, was part of the know when U.S. nuclear materials were stolen and later found in Israel. And then grandson starts the biggest data collection and storage company in the world in Amazon. It becomes one of the world's richest men while having all U.S. government records destroyed. And we're to believe Amazon started in a garage with a loan from his parents. Ever wonder why his ex-wife Mackenzie Scott got so much money in the settlement? Knew too much? Did you know that Jeff Bezos...
Yeah, I mean, same with Bill Gates' wife. I mean, if I was Bill Gates' wife too, and I was like, "Oh, you're still hanging out with Epstein after he got arrested for fucking kids?" Okay, I'm gonna take what I can take. If only that fucking pie that hit Bill Gates in the face, way back in the what was that, the 90s? If only that was fucking acid. If only that was fucking hydrochloric acid. That would have been hilarious. It would have been so much better. Whoever fucking did that was just way ahead of their time. Oh shit. But yeah, so you're like, it's about time that we wake the fuck up and stop acting like a bunch of fucking turkeys running around. Oh yeah. Everything's convenient. I can shove fucking red 40 and poison down my fucking gullet. I can watch my goyim fucking brain rot slop on Netflix. And everything's convenient. It's like you are more of a slave in that state of existence than any fucking slave that was owned by any American 100 years ago. You were in a worse state of slavery than any chained up slave, or I honestly, any starving slave across the world. I mean, it's a worse state because it's just like it's coming from a it's coming from a like a preference of convenience. It's like the convenience is so nice and so fucking preferable to so many fucking deplorable faggots in the US that they've reached a state of slavery that I don't even know if Mao could have or not, I mean, or no, not Mao, Genghis Khan could have even accomplished. It's genius too. I mean, we're a free country. Yeah, we're so free and convenient that you turned yourself into a slave. You did it yourself. I mean, that's how. Oh my God! I mean, I can't believe that people were down for that. I mean, I don't know if they're down. I mean, just think about like the rotting brains from the poison and what's sprayed in the air, what's in the water, what's in the medicine, what they put in your arm, what's in the childhood vaccines. Again, what's in the chemtrails? How it's definitely getting in the water supply. It's definitely getting in the food supply. You're breathing it in. It's falling on you. You go swimming. You go maybe jump in a river after it rains, whatnot. It's all over you. And then you go eat, and you're shoving it down your gullet because the rain water, grew the food you ate. And then, then you wash it down with whatever the fuck your goddamn beverage. Don't forget the bevy. Don't forget the poison. And then you wash it down with that, and same chemicals just all day. And then you go, well, I need to protect myself from COVID, a fake fucking virus, you retards. Which, if you already got one of the shots, you already dumbed down enough to get another one. You got nanobots swimming through your fucking bloodstream, telling you what to do when the 5G turns on to the right degree. And you'll just keep shoving the poison that you're shoving down your gullet, but you'll even go to the extent to shove it straight into your bloodstream because the fat piggy told me it's healthy. The fat piggy told me it's healthy to eat Cheerios. They told me to eat Cheerios and not steak and eggs because it's bad for my heart, but I just got a shot. These fucking retards go, my doctor and Michelle Obama, that stupid fucking privileged that everyone, I mean, that, you know, people go see her do speeches about how she's black, you know, how she's from Chicago, but she grew up in a rich family, has been given everything that most people of any color will ever have the chance of getting. She's been given that. And she earned it, I guess. Maybe, I don't know. I don't think so. The only thing she earned was the transition surgery that was done quite well, that duped a lot of people, it seems like. But yeah, no, she just runs around and says how she was scared to walk into stores with white people when she was younger, and how it was so much harder for her growing up as a black woman. She, while being one of these people want to act like it's a race war, and it's not. I mean, that's the thing that Karl Marx got right. I mean, hate him, but he was right when he said it's not a race war, it's a class war, and they use the race to make you, you know, yeah, to make you a little docile, scared, no opinion having faggot. And so when you see Michelle Obama, one of the most privileged people in America, women, black, white, gay, faggot, trans, doesn't matter, one of the most privileged people in America, you know, who has multiple $1 million properties, but won't house the fucking disgusting scum they let in through the border. You know, which they would. I don't even think they'd fuck. I don't even think the scum, the rapists that come through the border would even touch Michelle Obama with a 10-foot pole. So she might be okay. But yeah, she has these properties, $1 million, you know, multiple multi-million-dollar properties, beachfront houses. Is climate change fucking real? Then why do you have a fucking house on the fucking water? Is the water level rising? Then why are the people telling you the fucking water level is rising buying properties on the water? That's not a smart investment. And I don't think they make bad investments. Ask Nancy Pelosi, you fucking goyim slop bitch. That's what they say about you guys. Every single time you go to one of their rallies, they get in their little bus or plane, private jet, after they just talked about climate change. They go, what a bunch of fucking retards cheering for us. That's hilarious. But yeah, like I said, the most privileged person in America, one of the most privileged people in my lifetime, in our lifetime, gets on stages and does these talks about how she was scared growing up and it was hard for her as, you know, being a black, and you guys believe it. And you guys, I mean, the fucking men in the crowd that probably have masks on and, yeah, babe, I'll get vaccinated. Yeah, I'll wear my mask. Chill out. Yeah, I mean, those men have lost all sense of any worth. And there's something deep inside them that wants to stand up and go, no, no, no. You just get up. Something's yearning. Just get up and start saying no, just repetitively, just repeating it. Just no, and go. And she goes, oh, what? Because I'm black. I mean, most of the men are yearning to go, yeah, that's exactly why. Honestly, that's what's. I mean, if there's one thing I could say to Michelle Obama after she said some story to me about how it was hard for her growing up, and she was never privileged, and she's still like dealing with, you know, all this stress and bullshit, which I guess is in the form of like her having like a team of hairstylists. I would look at her and say, you're just a disgusting part of your demographic and community, and you're being fucking annoying. I'm sorry. They go, oh, is it because I'm black? And then they expect you to be like, no. I'll put on a mask and get vaccinated. You were underprivileged. I understand it. And they go, because I'm black. You don't believe me and you don't agree with me because I'm black. Just look at them and go, yeah, that's actually exactly why. That, and I mean everything else, I mean, that you've lied about, but she's so annoying. All right, let's talk about some disclosure. Get off the whole monetary system. But yeah, I would say if you have Bitcoin, take your profit. If you made any, if you just got in, get right back out and jump right back into the form of control that's just money and not your digital footprint and your digital privacy. Yeah, but if you made some money and you are in the profit range, take it out, because it's just being used to mine your digital footprint. It's going to be used against you. They can take it from you like that. Go buy a different asset. Go buy, just keep it on you. Maybe go get some land, go get some gold, go get some guns, buy shit like that. Get your shit out of Coinbase, scum, child fucking people that run that company. Cash App, they've done all right, but I know that I'm pretty sure BlackRock acquired them. That's where like I would get my Bitcoin and I'd send it to a wallet. But yeah, take out your Bitcoin. It's not chill, and it was connected to Jeffrey Epstein. It's connected to all the people that are still involved with what happened with Epstein. They just haven't, faked their deaths yet, or hung themselves and shot themselves in the back 4 times. R.I.P. Seth Rich. R.I.P. Vince Foster. And also, I wanted to say that, here, I'll bring it up. I talked about this on the other, I did a Patreon episode first, but so there was a tweet that went out, and this was, let me go find this tweet real quick. All right, so there's a tweet that resurfaced today from 2016, and it's from General Mike Flynn. So he tweeted in 2016. 2016 was some weird shit going on with Comet Pizza, and kids getting their faces ripped off and worn in front of them. That drippy, frazzy stuff. Yeah, if you know, you know. So 2016, we have. This just reappeared today. So, someone went and dug this shit up, and it's just funny because you would think that with all the shit that they get taken down, they would go and like not only clear the shit they've posted, but what has been posted about them. Anthony Weiner's involved, but he could give a fuck less. He sends pictures of his dick to kids while he's with his own kid. He's a fuck. It's in his name. Anthony Weiner, Ellen DeGenerate, Sam Bankman-Fried, hey, Hillary, Kill Bill. Like it's like they use their names to tell us what they do. That's actually hilarious. All right, so we have General Mike Flynn in 2016, November 4th. This is 4 days before the election, 3 days. He says RT, hashtag spirit cooking with Nevery Hillary. And then he says why, and then hashtag drain the swamp. And then it says NYPD ready to make arrest in Weiner case. And then he links a article that is an interview between him and Breitbart News. And Liz Crocken, she's the main tweet or main comment. She said on November 7th, 2024, so 8 years after this on election day, that she commented, posted on 11/4 in 2016. And that's just, it's crazy. So if we go to this article, it wasn't General Mike Flynn in the interview, but he tweeted the interview. It's actually Eric Prince, the guy that owns the company for the unplugged phones, which is, I hate to say it, Eric Prince might be a nice guy, but Unit 8200, I'm pretty sure is the creators of the unplugged phone. You got Mossad, just like everyone's always Mossad from Israel. That's just what we always say. It's like they don't have one like intel group. They have other groups like we do. One of them is Unit 8200. And if you want to know something real funny, that dumb bitch Alexis Wilkins, the one that thinks she's a country singer and she's dating that cross-eyed retard smelly fuck that runs our FBI. She came from Unit 8200 before she was pulled up to the big leagues to start doing honeypots. And Epstein was involved in Unit 8200. It's military intelligence. I think they got links. They might, I mean, very, 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 secretive but effective group. The Unit 8200 is. But this article from Breitbart News is Eric Prince being interviewed by Andrew Breitbart, I would assume. And the title is Eric Prince, NYPD ready to make arrest in Anthony Weiner case. And I played the whole interview on the Patreon, so if you want to, you can go listen to that, or you can just go to the article. I'll put it in the comments or the description, and you can go listen to it. It looks like it's on SoundCloud. It's 19 minutes, but I'll read some of the stuff from the article. So it's by John Hayward, November 4th, 2016. So I guess it wasn't Breitbart. When did he kill himself? All right, so Blackwater founder and former Navy SEAL Eric Prince told Breitbart News Daily on Sirius XM that according to one of his well-placed sources in the New York Police Department, the NYPD wanted to do a press conference announcing the warrants and the additional arrests they were making in the Anthony Weiner investigation, but received huge pushback from the Justice Department. So these are going to be, I'm going to read some of the passages from the interview. So Eric Prince says, I mean, it's not like the foreign intelligence agencies leave a thank you note after they've hacked and stolen your data. Prince claimed he had insider knowledge of the investigation that could help explain why FBI Director James Comey had to announce he was reopening the investigation into Clinton's email server last week. And he also says because of Wienergate and the sexting scandal, the NYPD started investigating it. Through a subpoena, through a warrant, they searched his laptop and sure enough found those 650,000 emails. They found way more stuff than just more information pertaining to the inappropriate sexting the guy was doing. They found State Department emails. They found a lot of other really damning criminal information, including money laundering, including the fact that Hillary went to the sex island with convicted pedophile Jeffrey Epstein. Obviously, Bill Clinton flew over 20 times there. The amount of garbage that they found in these emails of criminal activity by Hillary, by her immediate circle, and even by the other Democratic members of Congress was so disgusting they gave it to the FBI and they said, we're going public with this if you don't reopen the investigation. And if you don't do the right thing with timely indictments. So they went to the FBI and were like, we'll go public with this. That's what I mean. That's why where all these conspiracy theories, they might be true, manifest regarding Hillary. What we see of her is like not her. It's either some bullshit AI or some clone, or I don't know. Remember she got all sick and was like falling over. Maybe she got arrested way back in the day, but they still wanted to use her image and influence. Who knows? Let's go. Prince goes on to say, I believe I know, and this is from a very well placed source of mine at the 1PP, One Police Plaza in New York. The NYPD wanted to do a press conference announcing the warrants and the additional arrests they were making in this investigation, and they've gotten huge pushback. Let's go further. All right, so NYPD was the first one to look at the laptop. Prince elaborated, Weiner and Huma Abedin, his wife, the closest advisor of Hillary Clinton for 20 years, who's not with the fucking pedophile that runs the streets and does the Patrick Bet David podcast, who's Anthony Faggot Weiner, who should be hung by his dick. She broke off that marriage with Anthony Pedo Weiner, Anthony Hot Dog, they should call him. And she ended up marrying Alex Zoros, the son of the guy that has created and funds everything that you hate and causes negativity in your life. A lot of the shit that's negative in your life that you hate, that somehow you're forced to support, a lot of it comes from funding from the scumbag, hopefully who will pass on soon because he's so fucking old, Alex Zoros. Huma Abedin, Frazzle, companion, is now married to his son, who, I thought he was like BB's son. I thought they got fucked in their ass so much as kids that they were all going to be gay. But like this says, so the closest advisor of Hillary Clinton for 20 years. And also to add on to this, she has like very like close ties to the Muslim Brotherhood and like Saudi royalty. So when you think about why is Saudi coming back into the picture, what did she have to do with all this shit? So Anthony Weiner and Huma Abedin both flipped. They said, okay, we'll play ball. We'll tell you what you need to know. And so they are cooperating with the government. They both have. They see potential jail time of many years for their crimes. For Huma Abedin, sending and receiving and even storing hundreds of thousands of messages from the State Department server and from Hillary Clinton's own homebrew server, which contain classified information, like they give a fuck. Weiner was sexting, went to jail, and then got out and started doing podcast rounds and got mad at people in the streets when they called him out for being a fucking pedophile. Why even call him that? Just walk up with a rock and slam it into his fucking head. Just in my imagination. I'm gonna use the red bar excuse. That's just my imagination. That's what we were told as kids. Just use your imagination. That's just my imagination. Don't worry about it. All right, so NYPD first gets the computer. They see how disgusting it is. They keep a copy of everything, and they pass a copy on to the FBI, which finally pushes the FBI off their chairs, making Comey reopen that investigation, which was indicated in the letter last week. All right. This goes on, and it gets to like the frazzle Kip, the drippy frazzle. I don't even know what to call it. Wilson, the red face. Ask Ellen and Jay-Z, or ask Tom Hanks what was on that volleyball of his. But yeah, so it gets into that. I mean, this it's interesting. You should go listen to if you know all about this, it's not like new news. It's just interesting that this was tweeted in 2016. The tweet is still up, and still people voted for Hillary in 2016 as if they were better and more moral citizens and people and human beings as their counterpart who voted for Donald Trump, who they called a Nazi. But they couldn't even go to a simple tweet in an article that would prove to them that they voted for someone that cuts the faces off of people and wears it in front of them, and even maybe takes their intestines down, wears it like necklaces around them. That's involved in satanic rituals, and it's all just sweet Hillary Clinton. And like I was going to say, that this is what brought me to the article. Well, I'm going to get off it now, but it's just funny that Hillary Clinton just is like a second place, just like a permanent second place individual. Couldn't win the election against Trump, second place. Couldn't win the election with her husband, and when he was choosing between Lewinsky and Hillary Clinton, his own wife, she took second to that. And it's funny because they both got fucking caught by Israeli intel assets. You got Lewinsky over here filming and sucking dick, giving it to Netanyahu and the Israeli government. And then you got Hillary and Clinton getting caught by egg-shaped Epstein doing God knows what. And then you have, the laptop, the actual laptop from hell, known as the Wiener laptop, which is probably still in their possession. I know the file is called insurance policy. All right, let's get back to that's disgusting. All right, let's talk. I want to talk about this this disclosure talk going around how we're apparently going to be told very, very soon, probably by the president of the United States, that we are for sure living among other beings in this universe that are not human and are not from planet Earth. This is coming from the guy that was just on Rogan. What's his name? Don Farrar or something. Okay, so yeah, Dan Farrar, and this is the guy that. So there's a documentary coming out. It's called. You might have watched it. I don't know. It's called The Age of Disclosure, and you can get it on Amazon. And what it is essentially a documentary detailing the past 80 years of purposeful and intentional covering up of the truth regarding UAPs, UFOs, and extraterrestrial, not of planet Earth life. And every time you watch one, I've seen these documentaries. I've seen James Fox's. I didn't watch this one because apparently they want disclosure to everyone. They want everyone to watch this. He goes on Rogan, gets to tell 30 million people, "Hey, I just made a psyop documentary and a mind control doc. If you want to go MK Ultra yourself and become a fucking alien believing retard." They want everyone to watch it, but you go to Amazon, which I am a member of, and it's $20 to rent. Eat shit. You want me to pay you $20 to tell you? And then, well, I know I went and watched like people's take on it and reviews and what was shown in it. No hard evidence of any extraterrestrial beings, alien beings, non-human life. It's all speculate. It's not speculation. It's all. I'm not allowed essentially to disclose this. I'm not allowed to disclose this information to you in a documentary called The Age of Disclosure. So there's like no hard evidence. They just can't tell you because it's classified, and the higher ups have not given them the green light to provide that hard evidence that none of these documentaries ever have when it comes to these. Well, I'm all for UFOs and UAPs and the technology. That's not where I'm getting. We'll get to that. I'm just saying they're telling us that it's the aliens that they learned it from that crashed it or taught. I mean, the guy's going on Rogan saying, I can't give you hard evidence. It's not in the documentary, but I can give you an anecdotal story, and which is, I know of 2 for sure encounters. I know for 2. The guy told me he's very, very high up. I can't say his name. I can't tell you where it happened. I can't tell you anything. I can just tell you for sure, Joe. And Rogan's going. He's like, I can't wait to go to the mothership tonight. I can't wait to go to the mothership. He's like, I'll tell you right now, Joe, for sure there have been 2 encounters. And he goes, one of them just still gives me chills and raises my hairs. And he tells a story to Joe, and he goes, there was a guy that was contacted, and either like telepathically or through remote viewing, I forgot how it happened, how he explained it. He goes, the alien communicated to the guy without speaking, so telepathically, that humans are meant to do so much more and have so much potential or something like that. And he's telling the story. He goes, I just got chills again from it. Yeah, because you're lying in front of 30 million people and your body is like trying to stay fucking calm, dude. Shut up. And like, yeah, okay, yeah. If he just like said that one quote and he's like, yeah, I said this to like one of my buddies on the battlefield when he was dying, I'd be like, okay, that's a nice sweet quote. He goes, this alien's talking to this guy telepathically. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm like, show me the evidence. I'm like, at what point do you actually just show us without telling us? Because if you're already telling us it's real, then just show us the information. It doesn't make sense that you wouldn't just provide the hard evidence because of how we might react. You're already telling us it's true. Also, it's like, why are we treated like cattle or children when if it really is aliens, it's not yours to have either? Then wouldn't the aliens want everyone to know? And I think this is where they even go deeper and they go, no, the aliens think it's you see people saying that the aliens in the Galactic Federation are the ones that are holding back the release and hard evidence, and they've been communicating with Trump to hold off a bit and wait till the fucking documentary comes out. And so apparently, I guess there's a Galactic Federation, like you would read in like Donald Barr's Space Relations, or you might have heard about like Pleiadians and these Galactic Federation groups that meet here on Earth and come from all over the fucking solar system, and they have essentially like bunkers and huge facilities built in the inside of all the biggest mountain ranges across the world. I mean, I don't fucking know, dude. I don't know. It's the age of disclosure, but we're not going to disclose any hard evidence. You have Marco Rubio, who's just kissing the fucking wailing wall, fucking, jerking it off. He's sticking his dick in the crack no longer than a month ago, getting fucking Netanyahu's little pinky up his little fucking fart box while he's kissing the wall, dude. So Marco Rubio is one of the people that stars in this disclosure documentary, and then you have all these other fucking CIA ops that they're just Lou Elizondo. You're a fucking faggot, dude. Yeah, you can be okay, dude. You're big old meathead, special operations dude. You're a faggot. I don't care, dude. I mean, that's what I'd probably say to him. You're a fucking lying faggot, dude. Shut up. You're not in danger. You go give these talks to people in public places, no different than like Charlie Kirk, and my life's in danger. I've given out so much information. If I give this out, I'm fucked. Okay, if these people are so skilled at killing and whatnot, they would have your fucking gay ass dead so quick. These people are full of shit. They're running an intelligence operation, and this is why. It's because they don't want to disclose what's the truth behind this whole matter, which is this technology has been known to humans for a while, just not the common humans. It's been known to, companies and military contractors like the one Jeff Bezos's grandfather founded, like DARPA. The ones that are also involved in weather modification and a bunch of other like defense technology, and also not even mind reading technology. They're involved in it all. And so when you see these drones, they're going to tell you it's aliens. But DARPA, Raytheon, I've seen shit where they're supposedly testing DEWs and other technology in Antarctica. And, there's whistleblowers on that. And I tend to believe those more than the people that tell you aliens are real, because I see they provide evidence. And it's also like they don't let you go to these places where they're alleged to be testing this shit. So it's like that's shady too. And then you're like, okay, but like, why can't we see what you guys are experimenting on, and why can't we see what your research is in regards to? Like, why can't we see that? And they're like, well, it's because other countries might steal the technology, and then it becomes a national security issue. It's like, okay, dude. So you guys they've probably had this 80 years that they're trying to tell us has been a cover up to psyop the masses into not knowing aliens are real, was actually an 80-year cover up of them having the technology for 8 decades. And now they're starting to deploy it. And it's easier for people to accept that technology into their daily lives and allow it to kind of encroach on their privacy and whatever else, and their rights and their freedom. If they believe that aliens are real and they could be a threat, they're like, okay, well, we're going to have to institute, AI, and 3-Eye Atlas is coming. So we're going to have to impose martial law and all these security measures. And they're just going to lie about that common enemy or that extraterrestrial species that's coming to Earth so that they can implement more security, more control, and use the technology they've been creating for what it was created for, to, not fight intergalactic fucking wars in the sky. And it's not to play fucking Star Wars. Maybe it is, I don't know. But it's also to use on the people. And they go, oh, we don't know whose drones these are. They're alien drones or they're China drones. They might have been China's drones, but it's like they had like these defense drones that were going against those drones in New Jersey. It's like they were testing out, this technology. They're seeing how the people would react. And they go, we don't know whose drones they are. It's okay. And these are the same people that are trying to push this documentary out and say that it's aliens are real and we discovered this technology from them crashing, and also teaching our experts how to build these crafts and construct these technologies. And it's just complete bullshit, because the data says you guys have had it for a while. And you look at all these weird natural disasters and these weird fires that are supposed to be natural, and these weird tsunamis and earthquakes, and it's like, well, I don't know if those are natural. It's really weird. And yeah, maybe you guys have that technology too. And then you look at who's doing the chemtrails. I mean, that's just hard evidence. You can go watch The Dimming by Dane Wingington, I think his last name is. Just go to his fucking website, geoengineeringwatch.com or .org. And there's definitive. If you want to even try to like argue that, you deserve to be spit on. Like, it's not arguable or debatable. It's hard evidence. They're spraying shit in the sky, and it's definitely filled with a whole bunch of different chemicals, especially like graphene and heavy metals that make you a headbanging, toe walking, retard sipping out of a baby, a sippy cup when you're 20, and not talking to anyone. The people spraying those chemicals in the sky that they tell you are condensation, that, huge lines of coke essentially that, left for God up there. Those are also these same companies like DARPA and Raytheon and Boeing and the defense. And then that fucking retard Palmer Cucky, that Andul or whatever his company is, that fucking faggot, Palmer Cucky faggot. He's like, look what I just created. I love this shit so much, Joe. I've loved it since I was a kid. I can't wait to fucking kill innocent people with it. Yeah, these are the people that are aliens are real. No, okay. That's the age of disclosure is it's a mass psyop that people are paying $20 for, when you can just go to a YouTube page called The Dark Journalist and literally prove everything that's in that documentary wrong. And the thing is, JFK wanted to expose this whole program, this UAP, UFO, this secret technology that was being created and kept out of the public, kept out of the zeitgeist of the public, and kept away from the public finding out anything about it. You call this like dark budget, secret research, forbidden knowledge and technology that's not allowed to the public until their use for it is done, usually through military things and whatnot. So JFK wants to see this, just like he just wanted to see the nuclear facilities and the programs that Israel was, doing. He just wanted to look into it, and, he ends up fucking dead for looking into that. But also he was looking into the UAP and UFO and the secret technology programs and research that was going on. And the JFK UFO file was there was a war going on between, government groups like JFK and his people, and then like intel groups. And JFK ended up dead. And then we got 80 years of nothing, and just, Well, they're going to tell us over that 80 years, we have like alien bodies and extraterrestrial meetings and contact, interactions. And that's how we got the technology. But it's like, okay, I don't think so. I think JFK died looking into not only the nuclear programs of our greatest ally, but also maybe looking into these dark budget, secret research programs where they're creating technologies that, you know, might be the drones we see in the sky, might be the reasons why we see all these natural disasters and weird fires starting up, might be the reason why we just see a random earthquake, or this technology might even be like the reason why so many people have tinnitus and like are losing the ability to hear frequencies, that also are having weird fucked up dreams when they sleep in front of a TV that was built by one of these companies. And maybe they're the reason like there's so many more Manchurian candidate programmed assassins than there was decades ago. And maybe they're, kind of the reason for the technology that allowed a mass MK Ultra with no LSD and no need to be in person when it happens. Maybe they're the reason that has happened. The the rise in mental illness, especially psychiatric disorders, schizophrenia. They have something to do with the frequencies and the 5G and maybe the nanobots. I don't know. They have something to do definitely with the chemtrails. Oh, I'll call it geoengineering trails. They definitely have something to do with HARP in Alaska, the thing that starts hurricanes and can direct them. They definitely have something to do with, DEWs that can start fires like that. They have, they threaten people with earthquakes, other countries, like it's war. They definitely have, you know, roles being played in all sorts of technologies that these, the drones that we're told we don't know what they are. So it's like, no, maybe JFK died and they want to tell us that JFK was looking into aliens. No, maybe he just saw through the bullshit. And not only that bullshit, just all the bullshit going on. And he's like, I'm going to look into this shit because it's my job to do so. And I kind of have the power to make sure you don't fuck everything up. And well, he died, and so aliens are real, and Israel, I guess, is allowed to have nukes and create something called the Samson option. So I mean, that's what happened for his curiosity and nosiness. And so I mean, I don't believe him. I believe this has been their technology for 80 years. They've known about it. They've used it. They're liable and guilty of a lot of malfeasance and negligence and murdering, and a lot. They're guilty for a lot of shit because of the amount of lying and the amount of time they've lied about it. 80 years. And I also think they're still developing new technology, and they're still kind of rolling the technologies out to be used for other goals. And so they want to tell you it's aliens and scare you into thinking that we have this common enemy that's coming from the sky, Three-Eye Atlas. And Three-Eye Atlas is a literal fucking bug. They literally took a fucking camera, took a picture of a bug flying by, flashed a little light, and they're like, it's Three-Eye Atlas. Avi Loeb, the guy that's literally part of Israel's intelligence, the Harvard physicist, will scream at you if you tell him it doesn't look right to me. I mean, we have cameras that can get you the most in-depth, detailed pictures of galaxies in fucking who knows how far away with whatever fucking, I know those are got to be CGI, but if they can get pictures like that in other galaxies by sending out probes, but they can't get a clear picture of a fucking rock flying around, and when you finally can, it just goes behind the sun. I mean, get the fuck out of here. They want you to think that aliens are coming. We'll give up our rights and our freedom and our, responsibility because they're going to help us and they have technology that can protect us. And then that's essentially like giving up that's like essentially, it's like a bigger form and a more detrimental form of like what's going on with all these lib cities that have gone up in flames and people are rioting in the streets and then both sides are fighting with each other and now they have martial law in those cities. And a lot of the people that were civil people that were being affected by these psychotic lib retard cucks have begged martial law to actually come into their city so that they can protect them from the freaks that the government sicked on them in the first place, that the government wanted to happen in the first place. They go, send the freaks out in the streets, give them drugs, don't fucking help them at all. Shit will go, crime will ramp up, people will get pissed off, make sure guns aren't legal here because we're gay and retarded, and they will beg us to come and intervene militarily with the National Guard. And that's what happened. And so they will use that same logic, but instead they'll use it against the whole human race. And the scary guy will be the alien that they plan for us to beg them for protection to save us from the scary guy. Yeah, so I don't believe for a second there's fucking aliens that they know about. Maybe there is, but I don't think they know shit. It's their technology. I think they want to implement it at a larger scale. They need a common enemy. They got to do a false fag event. Project Blue Book, Project Blue Beam. If you don't know about these, go read about them now so you don't fall prey to not only another psyop, but the most massive and important one for them to carry out. Even like Werner von Braun, the Nazi scientist we brought over to run NASA, even spoke about it. He's like, dude, they're not going to space. They don't know about aliens. He was involved in creating this psyop that would hopefully eventually take place, and it's looking like it's going to. You'll see a fucking hologram, and you'll think it's a fucking alien. But yeah, I don't know. Believe what the fuck you want. Yeah, there might be something out there. I just don't think that we have the means and capability to travel out there to find out. And I don't know if there's anything out there that has the means to travel to us. Also, I don't know if we're even on a fucking spinning sphere at this point. We've been lied to so much. So I don't even know what the fuck the black stuff in the sky is that's blue during the day. So I'm so confused. And right now I'm going to say the people that have been lying for like decades and even centuries now and have become more powerful in doing so are probably lying again about what's going on with this. So when they put out something like the Age of Disclosure and you have Marco Zionist wailing wall kissing pussy starring in it and a bunch of other people that have been at the forefront of disclosure with nothing to provide, I tend to believe that they're trying to mind control psyop me and whoever else is watching it, and they're asking me for $20 before I watch it. I mean, they're asking they're so fucking Jewy and Zionist that not only are they mind controlling you and putting you through MK Ultra, having you believing in fucking gray aliens and whatnot, but they're asking you for $20 to do so. They go, no, fuck out of here. They have the technology and don't fall prey to their fucking bullshit, because then you'll just be the first ones that they use the technology on. And if no one, falls victim to this massive psyop of aliens are real, Project Bluebeam and whatnot, if the majority of people don't fall victim to that, then they can't fucking implement and enforce this fucking technology that they've created on us. They can't implement these things on us. That's not how it goes. Because if that's how it went, George Bush wouldn't have had 9/11 happen so that he could go into the Middle East and kill millions and become a fucking heroin kingpin. He's like, no, we need to stage an event that's emotional, that gets their support, and that support is that goes towards the war that he wanted to do. And he played it. I mean, it was played out perfectly. And so they can't just implement it. They kind of like need consent. And the consent will be given out of fear and comfortability and protection that, usually is given up to any power structure when the people that are giving it up don't want to take responsibility for their own lives and the people around them. I'm not saying an alien's coming down, we're going to have to fight them ourselves. I'm just like, the fucking evil monsters that we should be worried about aren't aliens. Like, the fucking movies in Hollywood, the Hollywood white adjacents want to tell us. The monsters that we should be worried about are the ones telling us what's true. And I mean, they're just as dangerous as a fucking alien civilization coming to Earth. I mean, come on. I mean, if an alien civilization comes to Earth and fucking enslaves all of us and fucks us all in our human asses and creates these like reptilian hybrids, like some type of fucking sci-fi movie that Donald Barr would write, that's no different or worse than them telling us that's going to happen, us believing it, and then them implementing their technologies that they've had for 80 years and doing the same thing. The only difference will be is it'll just be old occult members fucking you in the ass and not a reptilian or an alien species. So yeah, I don't believe in the age of disclosure. I think that's all I got on that, though. I mean, you go watch the Rogan thing, dude. The guy's up there going, I got the fucking chills right now from retelling the story. And then they go into fucking remote viewing. I've tried remote viewing, and I'm with Billy McCusker on this one. I want to believe it. I still kind of do, but it's like, I got to agree with Billy McCusker here. Like, okay, if you can remote view me and you, let's team up and let's get into sports betting, and we'll be the richest motherfuckers ever if you can remote view like you say you can. And then they go, I can't do that. I mean, you had this guy that was just on Rogan. What is it? John Farrar. I keep forgetting his name. Whatever. The guy that wrote the documentary. He was telling Joe about this guy that this high level intelligence operative that he talked to, and this intel operative told the guy who wrote the documentary, he's like, oh yeah, during this time, he's like 90 now, I think. So I guess this must have been like years ago, maybe even over like 20 years ago. And I guess he told the guy making the documentary, he's like, oh yeah, 20 years ago, 25 years ago, the CIA had me working on quantum computing and quantum mechanics for them. And then Joe goes, oh, what the fuck? Because like no one was like really talking about quantum computing and how, how much it's going to impact the way we do things as humans. But like during that time, when this guy says this conversation happened, or not when this conversation happened, but during the time of when this guy says he was working on this type of research for the CIA, was at a time so inconceivable for Joe because no one even knew what quantum was, not even that word, when this guy supposedly was working on quantum computing for the CIA. And Joe goes, what? He's like, what? He's like, when? He's like, when was this? Where? He's like, what was he doing? And then the guy goes to Joe, oh no, that's all he told me. He just told me that, and then the conversation was over. Okay, that's not fucking disclosure, dude. That's you making up fucking stories. These are like the fucking people that aren't homeless but damn near uh are damn close to being homeless, that you know they ride a bike everywhere. They still got a job, but you know they're sober, but they spend all their money on like gas station like large styrofoam cups of soda instead of drugs. These are the types of stories that like those type of people tell you, and they always have a story for everything, and then you try to dig deeper, just like even like a touch deeper, like you know a simple question, and then they're, oh, no, that's all I know. It's like these people hear something one time, they go, I'm gonna run with that story, but that's the only thing I'm gonna be able to say. And then they have a story for everything. You see these people everywhere. They're always on a bike. They got a backwards fucking uh, tap out hat on, DC shoes on, long basketball shorts, fucking wife beater on. That's literally what this guy just pulled on Joe Rogan. Because some guy told me, he's 90 now, but like 25 years ago, he told me, so when he was like 70, way before like this like type of research or even like, you know, uh, topic was even known to the common person. Yeah, he told me that he was working on quantum computing for the CIA like 20 years before like anyone even knew about it. And Joe goes, wow, really? Where? Who was it? Because you must have known who it was. And he goes, I don't know. That's all he told me. That's all he told me. So I was so fucking shook when he told me this that he told me and the fucking conversation ended. And so that's the age of disclosure. So if you want to pay $20 for a guy to tell you, not even campfire stories, literally just made up fever dream drug addled uh, stories that you would hear on uh, you know, at your nearest bus stop. Go walk to your nearest bus stop and find a schizophrenic. They'll tell you a better story than that, and they'll have way more information to tell you. Because I honestly think they're talking to someone more real than the retard that was talking to Joe. I think the guy that he brought up that was working on quantum computing for the CIA, I think that guy he talked to is less real than the people schizophrenics or entities schizophrenics are talking to. So, and then, like I said, if you want, you can go watch this YouTube channel called The Dark Journalist. I forget his name. Dude, he goes in deep. You know, and Joe Rogan does 3 hours. Yeah, and this guy sat on Joe Rogan for not. I don't even think he broke the 3 hour mark, and I don't care. I don't give a fuck if you can go 2-3 hours, dude. We're going 145 here. You can go 3. Shut the fuck up, right? I can tell you a bunch of fucking stories about how I got shivers down my spine because this one uh, Down syndrome kid remote viewed to Alaska and told us that it's a perfect place to build HARP technology and start hurricanes and earthquakes in third world countries. So our politicians can go in with FEMA and steal their kids and then sacrifice them to Baal and Moloch. That's essentially what the guy does. That's disclosure. They tell you it's aliens, and then they just leave out the part where it's like, oh yeah, so it's aliens, and but you guys are the only ones that can see it. Anyone that, well, I mean, you would think that anyone else that saw it that wasn't supposed to see it would die, but only you guys see it. You guys want to disclose this information to us, but the Galactic Federation is holding you back for the right time. I'm supposed to believe that. And I'm supposed to look away from the big HARP technology in the middle of the ocean in Alaska. I'm supposed to look away from the fires that start in the weirdest ways. I'm supposed to look away from the unnatural, record-breaking earthquakes that happen almost, weekly now. I'm supposed to look away from that. I'm supposed to... Whoa, shit. God damn. I'll wait for that. Woo. Scared my ass. Well, yeah, I don't know why that thing always turns on randomly. I could just be a fucking faggot and go, well, they're trying to silence me in the middle of my fucking talk. No, but yeah, whatever I was saying before, I'm supposed to just ignore all that and all the blatant signs of advanced technology that's, I mean, coming from aliens I haven't seen yet, not even seen a sliver of evidence for. Just look away from it. Don't blame them. Yes, you know. Just keep following fucking Satoshi Nakamoto. Satoshi Nakamoto, Central Intelligence Agency. Central Intelligence Agency. Wrapping you guys up like some fucking sushi. Like some sashimi. I'm literally going to create a fucking coin. I'm going to say my name's Sashimi Kakamoto. I'm going to say my name is literally fucking Palmer Kukimoto. Palmer Kakamoto. Or I can create a fucking coin and say it's Avi Hoeb's coin. It's Joe Hogan's coin. Let me see. I had some other things. Yeah, so that's disclosure. Go watch the. I'm hoping it comes out for free so I can watch it and, you know, shit talk it. But one last thing also on the disclosure thing. The film came out what? So let me look real quick. It came out either yesterday or the day before. So oh, and also if you've ever read the book, The Creature from Jekyll Island, Jeffrey Epstein is the creature from Shekel Island. That's what this fucking episode is gonna be called. So if you haven't read The Creature from Jekyll Island, or you know, you don't even have to read it. You can just go get some reviews on it or summaries, but you should read it. It's fucking insane. I think it's by Edward G. Griffith or something. Edward Griffith. Great book. That's about the start of the Federal Reserve, and it'll tell you what really happened with the Titanic and that James Cameron is a fucking psyop lord. But yeah, go read that. And then if you haven't, you might not understand the title then, but it's called The Creature of Jekyll Island, and that's where they created the Federal Reserve. So I think that it's only right to say that Jeffrey Epstein and his little kid fucking groups of people are the creatures from Shekel Island. All right. The age. 2020. Okay, so it came out. Come on, what date did it come out on? Donald Trump could reveal aliens exist. Documentary director. I think I put that in the clip, to be honest. All right. When did this? All right, release date. It says March 9th, 2025, but that's bullshit. That was its initial release, but I don't think it actually came out then because he literally released it yesterday or 2 days ago. Why are they hiding this is weird because the thing is, okay, here it is. It should just tell you right when you look it up, but it says March 9th, 2025, which is clearly false, but then it goes initial release. Then when you go to an actual article, it says release date November 21st, 2025. So that was 3 days ago. And then let's go to the anniversary of, let's just go to the date JFK was killed. This is the first thing that came up. My Google shirts listening. November 22nd, 1963. So these faggots that are telling you that fucking the age of disclosure is going to be them revealing the existence of extraterrestrial, non-human, not of planet Earth life and beings, advanced alien civilizations is where they got their technology. And they released it on November 21st, 2025. And the person most curious and nosy looking into what was really going on behind the lies of the alien bullshit was JFK, and he kind of wanted to do some intel and some investigating into these programs and research facilities that are heavily funded. He died on November 22nd, assassinated November 22nd, 1963. So the anniversary of John F. Kennedy's death, assassination, is one day after the release of the Age of Disclosure. I mean, come on, just shove it right in your face. They just shove their dick in your face and they go, "Yep, take that one. How do you like that?" They go, "How do you like them apples?" These fucking nerds go, "How do you like them apples?" Just like Satoshi Nakamoto, Central Intelligence, right in front of your face. These people say, "Oh, JFK he really wanted to know what was going on with aliens and UFOs and UAPs." No, that's not true. You wanted to know what was going on with Israel's nukes and your guys' black budget research and technology that you're creating. And then they go, "Well, you're dead." And then they go, and in 37 years, or not, no. They go in 37 plus what, 25, 57? They go in 62 years. We're going to release our documentary that puts what you wanted out in the past. That's crazy. They go, "We're going to release it a day early of the anniversary of your death." Crazy. All right. So, and then the last thing I'm going to say about the disclosure is the reason they don't want you to know, I mean, one of the reasons they don't want this technology and information released, yeah, national security reasons. Also, it's highly illegal what they did. And honestly, these technologies they created had to be funded significantly, like, with funds that would essentially bring the world out of poverty if you had the funds. And then you look at the debt of the United States and you realize that it's in the hundreds of trillions of dollars. A debt so large it's bigger than our biggest industry, which is the military industrial complex. Something almost impossible to even fathom happening. A debt being created in the hundreds of trillions, larger than our military industrial complex budget. But it's funny that it's bigger than their budget when you think about the possibility that maybe this money that created the debt was illegally taken from the United States, the tax money, Social Security, all this missing money that would have created a debt that large that, is clearly missing, that the Pentagon, is, seems to be involved as well, given they haven't passed an audit out of 7 audits they've ever had. Not one has been passed by the Pentagon. They can't come up with all these missing funds. And then you look at the fucking hundreds of trillions of dollars of debt we have. And then you look at these insane technologies that are just popping out of nowhere. And we're being told it's alien technology that we're learning from crash sites and contact with these beings. And it's like, no, maybe Catherine Austin Fitts was onto something, and you guys were illegally funneling this money and laundering it. You're laundering it into black budget research and secret research, essentially. Yeah, black budget, secret research. And that's how they funded the programs in the first place. That's how they were able to come up with, the funds to even create anything resembling this type of technology. And they did it through not only funneling and laundering the money out of the United States of America and the tax money paid by the people, but they also did it through selling drugs, guns, trafficking kids. You know, these are why these networks are always filled with very powerful people that are in very powerful positions, usually in the military. And you gotta think about that. Maybe the fucking debt has got to the amount that it has because these groups possibly that I think 100% are creating these technologies they tell us are aliens who created the technology. I think they stole the money, funded their black budget secret research, and created what they want to tell us was found from crash sites and taught to them by fucking gray aliens, dude, that fucking walk around with big ass heads, big ass black eyes, no dick, and talk telepathically and drive ships telepathically. Kind of like this dark lighting. I ain't gonna lie. All right. And talked about Jamie Dimon. That guy's a fucking goddamn piece of work. What a fucking piece of work Jamie Dimon is. Theo Von did have some funny shit to say on Rogan. I'll give him that. I mean, for all the people talking shit to Theo Von because he bombed on that Netflix special, probably due to exhaustion created by nonstop threats of, nonstop threats coming from Israeli bots that were probably paid for and carried out. I bet Israel does do shit like that. Source out their bot work to like Indians. That's why Indians are so aggressive online and immediately swarm you like a group of flies on shit, kind of like Indians on shit, immediately after you like say something slightly offensive to them or disrespectful of their culture, who throws shit at each other and has a festival where they worship the shit that they roll around in. If you slightly offend a culture like that, they immediately swarm you like flies on shit, but it's actually like how they swarm shit. That's how they swarm you. They are the flies. But it's like, damn, they have these reactions so quick, and they're always the ones getting, sourced out as the online slaves. So I'm wondering if it's just like all the Israeli bots and Zionist bots are just a bunch of Indian dudes that are being sourced out by Israel to swarm anyone that says Laura Loomer is not attractive. Laura Loomer is so hot, dude. Laura Loomer is so hot. Laura Loomer could sniff the wire on someone if anyone went undercover on her. Jay-Z could too. Laura Loomer's so hot though. So hot. Doesn't she has a brother, right? Laura Loomer? What's his name? Larry Loomer? Is that Laura Loomer's brother? God damn, bro. Laura Loomer been looking bad, bro. Looking like, I always see memes of her like being made. She's like the Saw character, the vile looking doll that rides around the tricycle. I always see Laura Loomer memes being made. I think that's fucked up. I think she's pretty fucking hot. Gal Gadot could not. It's funny though, Gal Gadot is so hot, and then just her stance and everything, and then also being in the IDF, former terrorist organization. just that about her, just immediately, I'd probably rather fuck Kamala Harris's stepdaughter, uh, Doug Emhoff's daughter. What is it, Emma? Is it Emma Emhoff? Who's like voted the hottest girl by all the fucking all the childless unfuckable libs that voted for her stepmom, and will probably all become stepmoms in their life. Damn, Dasha Nekrasova got canceled by the woke mob again. The woke mob's back. Woke is back. Woke is black. Woke is crack. Nah, but she is, I mean, I'm putting it in quotes, canceled, dropped from her agents that get her gigs, acting gigs, and probably modeling gigs because she interviewed Nick Fuentes. And I go, damn, that was my favorite episode they ever did. I mean, fuck. I feel like not dropping someone from, even if you are just a fucking woke lib retard company or agency, it'd be smarter to be like, nah, we're not dropping them because Fuentes has so much influence on the demographic you guys are incapable of representing. And maybe they just, you don't want to, but I'm just, so much more business would be brought to you because so much more influence comes from someone like Nick Fuentes rather than whatever fat, disgusting, on the verge of heart disease, Lizzo looking bitch that is gonna replace Dasha's spot at this agency. And it's hilarious. Yeah, but Theo on Rogan, I forgot to say. Yeah, I put a couple of the clips in the intro, but yeah, no. So Joe, when do you think Israel's gonna let go of us? When do you think we're gonna get out of this hold that Israel has on us? He goes, uh, Joe's like looking on his phone, goes, what? And he goes, what? Did you say something, Jamie? And then Theo Von's like, wait, Jamie, you play something? No, I was talking about Israel Asanya. Oh my god. I think that's gonna be it though. I'm gonna go through, see if there's anything popping off right now. Oh. All right, I'm not seeing much. Wonder what's going on with Candace. Let's see. Oh, Waymo's trending. Let's see. See if a Waymo ate someone yet. Waymo gains approval for vast robo-taxi expansion across California. Okay, no, okay. I mean, this is just same shit with the digital age and fucking, same shit that, Bitcoin's going to contribute to. I mean, they don't want you driving. They don't want you, they don't want you doing anything. They don't want you going to cash money. They don't want you being paid in physical money. They don't want you physically driving your own car. They want to be able to Anne Heche, Paul Walker, your ass if you say that something weird happened on October 7th. They want to make sure that they will make your car drive back home or to the police station when you just want a carton of milk, but you tweeted that you don't want to use ExpressVPN because there's like weird people that control that company and are on the board and seem to be people that are involved in other intel communities and other nations that are definitely capable of, backdooring a VPN they created. I mean, I downloaded it and I thought I was sick. I was paying fucking Bitcoin for the membership too, like $100 a year. And I thought I was sick. I would fucking get done with the payment and go, I'm using Bitcoin to buy a VPN subscription. I go, what you niggas know about me, dawg? I use motherfucking BTC to buy that VPN. EXPRESS. Motherfuckers. I heard about it on a podcast, every single one I listened to. I started to dream about it, then I bought my Bitcoin with it. I literally paid for a VPN subscription from ExpressVPN, Israeli owned, with Israeli with Israeli connection Bitcoin. So that's a psyop of all psyops. They're like, okay, you want ExpressVPN to protect yourself from fraud and data theft and all the different types of shit that a VPN can supposedly fucking protect you from, which is they're all full of shit. But I was like, yeah, fucking, I'm gonna be safe. My shit is fucking secure and guarded. I said, damn, bro. I said, dude. I was like, shit. Man, I'm about to fucking have a VPN, bro. I'm about to have that thing that everyone on podcast says to buy. And then I was like, I'm going to buy it with my secure ass, decentralized fucking money, bro. It's basically gold if you think about it. And then what happened? I bought an Israeli subscription from an Israeli company with a currency that is purely digital that was created with the primary investments from Israeli intel. But don't notice anything. That's wrong. And the conspiracy theorists, what was that mattress you guys dug out of the fucking ground, and why did it have a brown or blood stain on it? That was weird. All right, no, fuck them. I don't give a fuck about the Waymo. Waymos are probably created by fucking Palestinians. It's crazy that even on 9/11, the dancing Palestinians. And what's even crazier is the fucking Palestinian art students. I went to NYU that were in like the towers, like doing weird shit in the basement. I'm pretty sure like the owner of the property of the Twin Towers like didn't even show up that day because he had to go pray at a mosque. It's some Palestinian thing to do that day. Yeah, something like that. I think. All right. Project 2025. What the fuck is this shit? Oh, the Heritage Foundation. Okay, hold on. So this comes from Newsmax, and this was on November 10th. Leaked video shows Heritage staff in open rebellion demanding President Roberts resign after not condemning Tucker's anti-Semitism. And this was yesterday. This person says, Mason Klein, this is the person who tweeted, or X'd, Kevin Roberts is president of the Heritage Foundation, which bills itself as America's most influential policy organization and is best known for its Project 2025 presidential transition recommendations. Okay, what are their recommendations then? The number one, this is a quote from the guy too, the guy that works at the Heritage Foundation. The number one challenge Americans face in the 21st century is the crisis of family formation. We must put everything in the service of enshrining the American family at the very heart of our civilization and encouraging the formation of new American families. Observing that there are too few two-parent families and that children benefit tremendously from living with their married parents, Robert argues that family-first fusionism must be a big tent and embrace American parents of all stripes. What does that mean? All fucking colors? So far, so good. Roberts wants to create a new conservative movement that will build a majority coalition, but repeatedly his religious beliefs appear to contradict and indeed subvert his hopeful political agenda. Project 2025's forward decried second-class citizenship for women. That's I mean, I might agree with that one. Okay, so one of the reasons Queen Felonius wants to get rid of the Department of Education is so that the government no longer gives out grants and loans for higher education. It's not a bad idea. They want to force you to find other sources, preferably private loans and predatory lenders. The people giving them out right now are already predatory lenders. Anyone lending credit right now, and with this, given the state of the U.S. financial system and the dollar, anyone lending money out is a fucking predator. I mean, you might as well accuse them of being on the fucking island. That's how much of a predator anyone giving out, especially student loans, is. They're so predatory in giving out loans that they were accused of being on the Epstein files. All right. Let's see what Hegseth is saying. What? All right, so we got Mark Kelly telling troops to defy the president of the United States. All right, that's it. We've been going for a while. We'll have some crazier shit, I'm guessing, next week. All right, well, peace, my ninjas. Peace, my ninjas. Peace, my wiggers.
We have been assured that, in fact, the American public will not have to pay for the vaccine.
It's cultural swine, bitch. Now where's the blow?